Yeah. So I am one of those who are so excited about your presence here because this was a dream. I work with musicians, we try to nurture talent, we do opera, we do concerts, we teach young kids, but we find that out there, there's so few people who know what they're doing teaching, and they're teaching music, but they don't know much about music. And then now suddenly Kenya has said, here's a curriculum, music is in it. And you could probably count on your two hands how many professional musicians who have been trained, who know what they're talking about, who are out there in the country. It's a huge, huge gap. I'm just telling Winnie, this is one of my favorite stories. I tell stories a lot, but I'm not going to keep you long. I think you have to go soon. When I was young, I went to study in the US and I wrote a master's thesis called Radio Music Education for Kenyan Primary Schools. That was way back in the other century called 19-something, okay? So most of you were not born.
80s.
And my heart, even when I was there, was, I'm here, I'm privileged to have had a music education, even from Kenya, and support. I mean, miraculously, there are stories behind it. I ended up in the US. And I'm thinking, what about all the other Rhodas? Some are in the cities, in the towns, in the villages, who are as talented as I am, who have the passion as much as I am. What about them? Who's going to reach them? Because I used to have this nightmare that some people are going to go to their graves with a song in their soul. Singing is my thing. Or with a piece or composition in their soul. They're going to go to their graves, no one ever heard it, and maybe they never heard it themselves because it has to be nurtured and developed to come out. I used to think like that. How do I reach the most people in the most effective way? At that time, everybody had a radio. I knew that even a child in Lodwar or in Narok or where there is a school, there is a headmaster with a what? A radio. Today, every headmaster has a what? Smartphone, at least, or something close. So my idea was that through that technology at that time, we could do radio music classes by a professional and take that very best in the ears of the kids or the students out there. That was my dream. It was not to come true in that way, although there were people putting music for children on radio, mostly actually not professional musicians, people like Auntie Elizabeth. Remember, we were listening keenly every Saturday morning. Yeah. We were around the radio listening to something called, what was it? Something good. Kim,
What was the name? I even forgot it. It was a long time ago.
Joy Bringers.
No, Joy Bringers. Saturday morning at 10 o'clock.
There was something for children.
For children.
Yeah.
Children's something.
Yeah.
And we were like, it was religion. It started off with, I'm hiding, I'm laughing, I'm laughing all day long. Because when I laugh, oh, I don't know, my worries will go away.
Yes.
I'm laughing no matter what happens.
Yeah.
I'm singing my
Every
happy
child
song. It was a hyena laughing now. And when I get up every morning, don't ever be whiny, but make life so shiny, like honey in the rising light. Oh, I laugh and I laugh and I laugh some more. You see, if a child is listening to that, next Saturday they'll be there waiting to hear Heidi, the laughing. It was religion almost.
Yeah.
And she played that that was the opening and that was the closing. It had a theme, you understand. And then in the middle there was stories and things like that. So it wasn't only just music. But she was not a musician, she was just a lover of music. Now we want you guys to become those passionate music missionaries. Did you missionaries, they go out into the far places, wherever it is, and take the word of God, you know, the gospel to the far places. You don't have to even, you right here, you're being equipped. You're being equipped with the most important gospel, the gospel of music, which started in heaven. Let me assure you. That is also, you just have to read the Bible to know that. So we're equipping you, and it's been a dream. Winnie and I have talked about it. I had this along. I was thinking, here I am doing opera. We're doing classical performances. We have a junior boys choir in the village growing, but we are the only ones. We are few. How do we spread this in an effective, efficient, and professional manner and a fun manner? And here you are. You're the answer to a dream. You're the answer to a dream. Amen.
Are we going to clap?
I think these young people don't know those things. And here I am thinking I'm very cool.
No, they call them hymns.
Okay. But anyway, I am very happy that you're here. Welcome you. I wasn't, I know I was around when you started, but I wasn't able to come. And it's going, I see that things are going very well. I wish you all the best. I wish you blessings. I wish you success, good success. Not just success, but great success. And I know it's going to happen. So take that with you and be encouraged. Okay? We'll meet again down the road, I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
In 1 month, 1.5 months, we're opening an art center, performing art center in my village in Siaya.
Nice.
Did you
It's
hear
amazing.
that? So this does not
The
have
first.
to be where things end up in
first
the
of
city,
this.
because this is the first. Now we're like missionaries. We're
Yeah.
taking it out into the byways, the highways, and it's going to be doing this exactly what you're doing: teaching, educating, nurturing, inspiring, exposing.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing some classical music in between.
Oh, of course.
Because it has to be a little bit
Yes,
of all the
we
genres.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the best.
They were
Thank you for
studying
allowing
Baroque music and Johann Sebastian Bach
Whoa.
and Vivaldi. They have no choice.
Oh, that's